Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and I'm going to I'm just going to use a tarot and read on Trump's September. And I realize I'm like a week late, but I remembered that there were some key dates when I did his astrology reading that went through September 21st. And I also remember at the end, like the last week of his grand tableau, which brought in his whole family. I didn't mean to, but with Kipper, it just, that's how it works. But anyway, in the Kipper grand tableau that's in there in my library, if you want to look at it, in the last week, which ended September 24th, I think, 24th or 25th, it looked pretty bad. But so I thought I'd go ahead and just use the tarot quickly, a shorter reading, and see if we can get some other, some more information, I guess, with different energies, because every system has its own unique language. So, okay, well, let me get the camera dropped down. I'll get started. Okay, so the tarot deck I'm using is the Radiant Rider-Waite, and I'm choosing it over the Radiant Wise Spirit just because I have astrological glyphs, drives me nuts, written on these cards, and they're cut down, they're borderless and smaller. The Radiant Wise Spirit deck is awesome, and it's beautiful too. It's just that the cards are larger. So, I don't know. My hands do better with the smaller decks. Okay, so, but like I have dainty hands, right? Not. I'm not dainty anywhere. My goodness. Okay, enough about me. Donald John Trump. Oh, God's sake. As soon as I say his name, I can't even, my body just goes, Wah! Let's do some allowing for reversals here. Okay. Donald John Trump, September. Like I said, even if you have already watched those other videos that I did with his astrology with key dates and that Grand Tableau Kipper, there are timestamps. My dearest Hilda Flores, our dearest Hilda Flores, has been so kind to put timestamps in most of my videos. And you can just probably easily fast forward into, September. It would be, like the last, probably, there's 9 columns, it'd probably be the last 3, I'm thinking. But let's see what the tarot wants to tell us. And I also have this other fun deck that I'm going to use afterwards that I've never used before, because I literally just got it, and I haven't used it yet. But I think it can be quite comical. Okay, so Donald John Trump's experience. Let's add in actions. Actions. Karma and future will be over here. For the rest of this month of September 2021. Okay. So the forces in motion. Yeah, his greatest challenge over the next few weeks. Okay. Let's do 2 cards over here for his actions. His plans and actions. Okay. And then let's do 2 cards up here for the karma that's hanging over him, of which he has no control. Oh, alrighty then. Oh, I've got plenty of room. What am I doing here? Okay. So 4 cards for his future for the rest of this month. Let's just see what happens through the end of September 2021. Okay. We can always draw more cards for clarity, or I'll switch to that other deck and we'll have some fun there. So anyway, with the 6 of Swords, actually, let's do this. There we go. With the 6 of Swords here as the, the pivotal, key card as the force is in motion, so it might be a little calmer for him this month, as he tries to get away with something, of course. Now, on another level, I'm wondering if he's going to be trying to move on, trying to relocate, thinking about how to relocate. Because, this is it's a travel card. And with Mercury in Aquarius, you're thinking about bigger, broader options, and you're communicating on that level too. And, here we have 6 of Swords followed by 7 of Swords. Well, if it's traveling, then you get to this, you can get to a new place, but, at what cost, and is it honest? And in the challenge position, we can read it both ways. We can read it as upright, as in his challenge is to continue to get away with this, big lie. This stop the steal bullshit that he's been, pushing. But what's going on is he's trying to get away from that. I don't know that he's going to be, because we have to remember this gets us through the end of the month. At some point this month, he may give up. Now, I don't know if he'll ever say it out loud. I don't know if I doubt he would announce it, but I'm feeling like, because these 2 cards are pivotal, I'm feeling like internally he's going to try to recoup. He's going to try to make it away from, from this chaos that he has put into motion. And we all know that he's probably accepted it, internally quite a while ago. And this has all just been the ploy to, to continue grifting. To get as much as he could out of his constituents, out of his sheep. It's, so sad. The mentally ill, demented demagogue who has preyed upon the mentally ill. So, his biggest challenge is now to get away with it. Can he get away with what he did on January 6th? I think not. And, so that's the question here with the big challenge. Now, if we were to read it in the reversal, which you can do, when you're talking about a card in the challenge position, you can read it both ways. If we were to read it as the reversal, he's getting caught. I don't think he's ever going to confess, but the 7 of Swords reversed is like, the pathological liars, the serial liars and cheats and grifts, grifters, the major grifting type of a card here. But getting caught, that's his biggest challenge. And he's, if we just read it straight, just straight on here, this is him trying to get away from what he's done on January 6th. And I don't think he's going to get away with it. I don't think it's going to work. But that's where that's his pivot. Those are the pivotal forces in effect for him this month, because I think he can feel something coming down. Now, with his plans and actions, I don't know that he's really planning on working hard. I don't know that he's planning on holding on to his responsibilities. Whether or not he's planning to do anything, I think he is worrying, because this is a card of, the Ten of Wands is a card of great worry. It can be a card of, major internal battles, whether or not a person sees it. It's also, it's a card of burden. It's a card of having a very, limited small vision, because you're usually just looking down at your feet. Well, with him, he just looks at himself. So, he's just, his care is only for himself. So, he's in struggle, whether or not he shows it, he's in great internal struggle, very burdened. And then with the moon reversed, he's trying to reduce his stress. He's trying to, overcome his fears. He's trying to chill out. But when it comes to actions, if he's trying to reduce his stress, get the burden off his back, this can be a card of revealing secrets. And his family does have a tendency to say the wrong things at the perfect time for the rest of us. Self-incrimination is one of the things that his sons are famous for. Ivanka, she's a little quieter, a little smarter. Eric and Don Jr. are idiots. They're just like him. And then what's her name? Kimberly Guilfoyle, like screaming banshee, coked up addict, girlfriend of Don Jr. She doesn't help things either. So trying to feel in on another level. This, it's just, I think it's more deception. His actions are to get the stress off of him, and also he's in this like narrow-minded focus to continue deceiving. Sometimes the moon reverse can be more criming. Some people call it like bad luck, but I don't believe in luck. I believe we create our own reality. And so if something of bad fortune comes to him, you can bet he deserves it, right? But he's what's going on internally, he's very burdened, and he's in just tremendous delusion. The deluded, demented demagogue. It's all right here. So something would he's trying to release him. He's narrow-mindedly focusing in on, I think, trying to get out from under his financial crimes. He's got the tax burden. He has Cy Vance Jr. breathing down his neck, and his whole organization. And the karma that's coming down on him, that's weighing down heavily, it's coming in hot and heavy. And, these are often, well, you can look at any of the kings and queens of any element as being related to legal issues, but primarily the swords will really, come in. And that's, so hot and heavy, something coming in that cuts, and it can be very, very challenging. Big changes, the Knight of Swords, or even the Knight of Wands, but especially the Knight of Swords, it can bring in these big changes where you just have to focus on survival. So somebody, other people that he's in relationship with, I think they're going to be focusing on themselves and their survival. And, you know, the only ones that are going to be sticking with him are the ones who think they're going to have a pardon coming down the line. But even if they accept that, it's to receive a pardon is an acceptance of guilt. So their careers would be gone. So we're talking, Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, any of these other people, and his children, of course. And I think we already know that everybody's flipped on him like crazy. So, but I would say these are really aggressive relationships that are hanging over him, and now they're needing to make their own decisions best for themselves, and they're making choices. This is a card. I mean, you can see Mercury, Gemini. These are choices and decisions. And Mercury does rule Virgo too, so there's discernment. So anyway, this isn't terrible karma hanging over him here, but let me draw a couple more cards. We can fit one more right in here. Well, let's do it this way. Let's get a little more clarity about these relationships. What is coming in so hot and heavy for him? Because this is just so, it's so neutral. Unless if it were reversed. Whoa. Okay. So something is ending. Oh, and then at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. Wow. Whoa. 2 cards at the bottom of the deck. Yikes. 9 of Swords in the Tower. So, tortured with worry and stress, and things are falling apart, and look at what color their hair is. and they're falling upside down, everything's blown apart. Wow. So this is betrayal and loss and failure in relationships. And people, just like I was feeling in the beginning, they're thinking for themselves. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, future. Somebody's not going to be quiet anymore with the High Priestess reversed. And it's also a card of betrayal. It's also a card of people, coming into their self-doubt and going, ruh-roh. Maybe I've made a mistake. So secrets will be revealed, and we can just even if we didn't know what these cards meant at all, we could just look at the images and go, well, shoot, she's by herself, and she has a book of wisdom on her lap, and the moon, there's wisdom there. But then reversed, and it's usually a card of, keeping quiet and tuning into your higher self. When it's reversed, somebody's talking and it's not quiet anymore. And then look at this lamp that's hanging down and shining the light over. So let's look at it in 2 different ways here, because we have secrets being revealed, betrayals and hidden agendas, things like that. It's another card of illusion, so we have them both right here. And then with the Three of Cups reversed, whoa, because this is a card, when you're doing relationship readings, this is a card of cheating. And, you know, on another level, he's in his, like, poor me mode. Nobody loves me anymore. Or, I don't have what I want. Wah. There's all of that. But this is nothing to celebrate about. There are no celebrations. Often it's a card of overindulgence. He's probably, you know, overeating a lot. And he's probably feeling pretty alone because I mean, my goodness, wow. The Hermit is a card of solitude, of needing to search your soul. So he's isolated, friends are gone, nothing to celebrate, people are spilling the beans, flipping like crazy. And then with this Page of Pentacles reversed, my goodness, this is bad news. This is people who are unfaithful, because this his major, you know, goal, what he had his eye on the prize, it was all about, was just not, it wasn't realistic, you know. So the goal was not a real goal, which is, of course, his January 6th insurrection, you know, like never going to concede and all of that crap. So, okay. And remember, you know, these were at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so now let's use this other fun little deck and see what we can do. Okay, so it's called the Deck of Character. It's 111 cards, I think, or 110. Let's see. Does it say? Anyway, here's where you can order it. If you do want it, it's out of, well, it's ridiculous. Made in the USA, but it went out of print. But a bunch of people, obviously, in the UK bought it up, because if you go to order it, if you go to thedeckofcharacter.com, you'll be directed to other sites that carry it. And if you want it, it's, you know, it was very reasonably priced, but you're going to have to order it from the UK, and then the shipping's going to be $27. But the cards are, going through the images, I was like, oh my goodness, we could have some fun. And my dear friend, I only know about this deck but from my dear friend over at Debbie at Freebird Spirit. She, it was gifted to her by Lucienne, and she started playing with it immediately, and she mixes them all together. But I'm going to try it separate just for some fun. But I can tell already, to do like 3 rows, I'm going to have to lift the camera up, so give me just a moment. Okay, so let's use the characters first. So just tuning into, oops, let's move them over here so I'll have more room. Just Trump. Well, no, it can't be just Trump, because he's a very codependent kind of person that relies on his followers and his, you know, he's Mr. Attention Sucker. An attention whore is what he is. Okay, so Donald John Trump. Let's see the cast of characters. Let's see him and his cast of characters for the rest of September. And we'll see if we like this deck or not. I feel like I'm in love with it already, because I've seen Debbie use it so many times. And she gets the funniest cards. Okay, Donald John Trump and his friends, I should say. What can we expect to see between now, I think it's September 7th, and the end of the month? Okay. Okay. So here's the cast of characters. We have the dragon, the poet. Yeah, putting out the powerful words. Let's see. Dragon, the poet, farmer, devotee, that would be his, sheeple. The Grim Reaper, and ghost. Yikes, what's going to come out from the past? Okay, so now let's use the tools, because we have characters, places, and tools. Let's use the tools, and let's do another line. So we're going to have the characters, their tools. Yeah, don't be a tool for the dark forces, right? Okay, let's look at all the tools that are going to be used by each of these cast of characters, and then we'll look at places. And this will be the experience, what's going on, and also the experience for Donald John Trump. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, leap, vomit, whoa, gift, tears, whoa, war, yikes. Okay. All right, so now places. Places. Donald John Trump. Where will these things be happening? Okay. River, desert, mountains, home, open road, the universe, jail cell. Whoa. Okay. Now remember, we only have 21 cards out of the 111 in the deck. So the fact that these cards are here, wow, that's amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my cartomancy techniques. Wait, actually, let me move this up. Hold on, because I can do some justice here to closed captioning for those who absolutely need it. And especially when there's like white words on top of white cards, that can be tricky, so. And there's no numbers to deal with, so that doesn't, yeah. Okay, I hope that is enough. Okay, all right. Sorry if my putt's in here, but I just realized. Okay, so let's look at the four corners. But then also we have to remember, characters, tools, and places. There's going to be a river. I think it's like cry me a river of powerful words from the past that will, if not put people in jail, will definitely restrict others. But I mean, this is the card of, jail. So that's the theme. Now let's look at, let's just look at it through these columns. Here's the theme here too. This middle row, here's the theme. So these are his devotees. These are his, the people that follow him, the people who are still following him. And they have literally cut off, I'm going to read this card a lot like the scythe and the linamon, but they've cut off their own connection to safety, to their own foundation, their own body, soul. The foundation of their life is very blocked. Under the need of repair, I mean, you can read directionally, where's this pointing? The point, the sharp point is going towards the need for repair for these people on a soul level. But it's not going to go well for them. Okay. Oh, and again, I'm being reminded of that channel, Plants and Politics, where she's uploading, I think, it seems like I see it daily or every other day, probably as soon as everything comes out, of course. She's revealing who these people are who are being locked up from the January 6th. This column here would literally be the ghosts of the past of the insurrection that throws people into jail. But I was asking about Trump's experience too. I don't think he's going to shed any tears over these people who did this for him, but I'm wondering if this could be, wouldn't we love to see him going to jail for treason? Why hasn't it happened yet? So maybe this is here to show us what will come, past. Maybe this has to be read further out in time. Because I don't think Nancy Pelosi's commission will be done that soon because they're on vacation right now. I mean, they stayed late, but some of them are still working and not taking their vacations. So there's that. But anyway, let's stay here. So the cast of characters, there's powerful forces you don't want to mess with. And also, the dragon could be an abusive force as well, too. But then this taking a leap. Well, who wants to take a leap into if you're bungee jumping, if you're younger and you do that bungee jumping thing into a river, I suppose. But this is a fire-breathing dragon. And this is about Trump. So this is him. I'm going to read this on another level. Well, this is him talking smack, just, his hot, bloviating, he's just full of hot air, and speaking like he thinks he's a poet, but it's really just vomit. And it goes out into this desert of hardly anybody, right? Look at this line here on the diagonal. These devotees, these I'm like flashing on, and like, these cult followers, I'm flashing on those guys in the desert. Remember the ones that went out in the desert and drank the Kool-Aid and then died? But yeah, here they are, and it's like out just into the desert, going nowhere. Vomit, and this is him. If we use a knighting technique, this is him just bleh. With his disgusting tongue and mouth. I mean, I thought maybe I would color these cards in, but there's 111 of them, and that would take a long time. And they're really slick, so I don't know if it would even stick. I'd have to get out the heavy duty, like oil based ones, and then they're not going to shuffle right. And yeah, so anyway, make new decks. You got whoever, deck of characters, do it again and make them in color. Do another printing and in color. So anyway, I have to always go back to remember that this is about Trump. but this could, this is also his people around him. So he's the fire-breathing dragon. He's the disgusting, ugly mouth that we all just are so glad to not see anymore. And see and hear. And he's going to need to be under repair. I don't know. I think he's too far gone, because you don't have these cards together and do well. Wow. God. And then here we have him with his, he thinks he's the poet, but maybe there's some poetic justice, because this vomit is now really going nowhere, just out into the desert. And then him trying to farm, but what he is going to do is he's still going to try and farm more of the grifting, because a farmer knights to the gift. And it's right next to the, devotee card. So these are his followers. He's still going to try to farm followers. So this is what he's. I don't think he'll give up on that till the day he, it's his MO. But yeah, so his words just, vomit out into the desert. He's trying to farm more and more with his but there's an obstacle. It's blocked. The mountains is a block. But it can also be, a place of, if you're looking for where something is, like if you have this deck and you want to figure out like where to go, where the best place to vacation might be, here you go. But for him, he's just going to be farming more with his disgusting mouth, his fire-breathing dragon, and but there are obstacles now to how many people can actually listen to him. You have to be dumb enough to watch OAN and Newsmax and some of these other places that are just sprouting lies, but I'm waiting for the day that the FCC, maybe we have to push on that, get the FCC to do something about this. About Fox News Group and all of that. Or, maybe their people just need to be sued enough. But the FCC should, you shouldn't be able to have a news channel just spreading lies. There needs to be some rules. Facebook as well, right? So, okay, so further on, moving towards the rest of the month, yeah, I think this is pretty clear, and that was the main theme. Vomit. This is him and his fire-breathing dragon vomiting right into their homes, and they're still listening to those networks I just described. But then further on, look at this, tears. And maybe people, anybody who's on the road to try and spread his grift, this is their future too. Yeah. Wow, sharp, pointy words, and it could even be, because the knife, it knights up here to the Grim Reaper, so this doesn't look good. And to me, you guys, I just, all of these cards here, actually this whole thing to me, now that I'm sitting here looking at all these images, tell me what you guys feel, but I sense that this is all about January 6th. All about January 6th, because, it's just obvious here. This is January 6th. And I really hope that it does land him in the jail cell for just this. He's been, on one level, he's been the worst thing to ever happen to this state, to the United States, and even to the rest of the world. But on another level, he has helped to reveal the darkness. All the swamp creatures came out. There is a swamp card in here that I didn't draw this time, but because I guess, yeah, here it is. Eyeballs. That's funny. the dark swamp. I like this card better for him. But he has brought out all the swamp creatures. And I don't care who he pardons. We know who they are, and their careers are ruined. Mr. Flynn, Mr. General Flynn. Man. I just learned, I didn't realize it before, that Sidney Powell was his attorney. So anyway, this does not look good for him at all. Not at all. And it's not until it's totally done for him that I think that he's going to meet his pain. And I hope the weight of the universe comes down on him and he feels that, because the ghosts of the past and all the vitriol that came from him, he needs to repair that. This is, this karma that he has. These people that died and that are being locked up, and I mean, because he told them, he told. Remember at that second debate with Biden, he said, "Proud Boys, stand back and stand down, or stand down and stand back." Basically and these people are all testifying that they were waiting on his instructions. These devotees were waiting on his instructions, with their knives ready, knives and everything else, all these other tools of war. He was vomiting out the message, and they were ready to go and create this war, and this is all down on him, and I hope he's the one that ends up in the jail cell along with them. And I hope it's, when it comes to the soul level, it's a universe of time that I don't know how many lifetimes he's going to need to try and clear this one out. I don't know. I hope he's locked up in a light cell somewhere and not allowed to reincarnate for who knows how many eons. To these types of people should not be allowed back on the planet. But anyway, that's just my human judgment. To let go of that. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what else to say. The ghosts of the past, because of January 6th, lands him in, if it's not a jail cell, major restriction. And the repairman up here could relate to judges and the commission that comes in and says, hell no, this isn't happening anymore. Because if there's repair over the grifting, then it could move all across the land. And the universe is, it's very, very big, and we've been grieving. We've all been through this post-traumatic Trump disorder, and we are healing, and we do need justice. But we do also have to trust that the universe brings in its own justice. These cards knight together here. The past. The universe, it's like the book of, the Akashic records for every soul on the planet. It's always there. And of course we transform it, we heal it ourselves based on our, changing our belief systems and changing who we are on the fundamental level. And then of course we can forgive ourselves if we need to, but I don't think, I don't know what's going on with him, but anyway, this repairman card knighting down here to this one, this to me shows the legal ramifications on the foundational level so that we can clear this out universally. So, but anyway, I think I'll stop because I'm not seeing anything else. I'm looking at some knighting, a little more knighting, but I'm not seeing anything that I didn't already cover. Yeah, he's still going to grift, but it's going to end. Everything's going to end for him. I don't know if it's going to happen by the end of September, though, but we can see this is the future. So, okay. Well, thanks you guys for hanging in there. High five if you made it to the end. And I don't mind it at all if you break it up and go back and watch it later. Okay, thanks you guys. Take good care. Bye.